Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Shit's about to hit the fan. Welcome to Unsanctioned Thursdays on Wrestling with Freddie.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unsanctioned Thursdays with me, Freddie Prinze Jr., and my co-host, Mr. Jeff Dye. Let's talk WWE Crown Jewel and start the show.
Crown Jewel.
All right, Jeff. Crown
Very
Jewel it is, sir.
controversial pay-per-view.
They've done it so long now. Is it even controversial anymore? They do it every year for the last however many.
Enough that people seem fine with it because it goes on long enough.
I mean, I didn't hear anybody complaining about it this year.
Well,
I mean, Sami Zayn wrestled. If Sami Zayn made his peace and is going over there, who, by the way, he opened the show before the pay-per-view even started and wrestled JD McDonough, and the match was freaking awesome. And Sami Zayn went over, and those two guys looked absolutely great. It was not match of the night, but it started the show and got the crowd hot and hyped, man. He opened it huge, and the crowd loved Sami. Everyone in Saudi loved Sami, man. It was wild.
Yeah, Sami Zayn has been missing from the limelight, to say the least, in my opinion. It's good to see him back.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing his stuff with Judgment Day, which is what it is. And I like Judgment Day, but they don't have like a story. They have like a lot of, let's start a story, and then we don't ever finish it, and we move on to another story and start that story, and we don't finish it. And it's just kind of, they're in that like whirlpool, so to speak, right now, where they keep kind of not recycling because it's different, but nothing gets completed, like an old J.J. Abrams show, right? Like Lost, where you're like, hold on a second, they don't have an ending for this shit, do they? Or Alias.
They're not going to ever explain the polar bears. They're not going to explain the smoke monster. What the hell is this?
What is this Rimbaldi device? I don't think they even know. Damn it, Jennifer Garner. And then she gets blamed.
Tricked.
But yeah, that's what Judgment Day is to me. Now, they have Damian Priest, and he had Money in the Bank, which was thwarted at the pay-per-view. Ha, 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 Damian Priest. But I don't feel like they've serviced them as well as they can, because I know they can write good stories because I've seen them write good stories. And I've seen a lot of like, not start-stop, but start and unfinished stories with Judgment Day. But again, as usual, I digress. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. We hinted at this in yesterday's episode, y'all. I think Drew McIntyre is leaving WWE, and here is why. And I can't say everything, but I can say a lot. I don't know why you put Drew even in this match unless you know he's not going to resign. His contract's coming up in January. You're not going to put the belt on him unless you know he's going to resign with you, because otherwise he can just have the belt. That's not good for any company. I don't believe he's 100% happy there as far as creative goes, as far as the stories go. I think he feels he did a lot when he took the title during COVID, and that was never paid off properly. And that's just me speculating and guessing 100%. But I feel like I know what motivates people. And I feel like when I worked with Drew, I knew what kind of a guy he was, and he was very much down to be a company guy, but he wants that respect paid back. And me personally, I don't feel like it has. I feel like he should have beaten Roman in Cardiff. I still feel that way. He could have lost it the very next pay-per-view, and Roman could have gotten it back. But that story I felt had the wrong ending to it. And he would have been I think he could have been a great champion. But needless to say, he had a match with Seth. This match was unreal. These guys hit so damn hard. The finish was very quick and kind of sudden, and I don't think I was ready for it, so I didn't love the finish, regardless of who won. And Seth Rollins came out in the pinkest of all pink outfits, trying once again to make us hate him. But too bad, Seth. Too bad. Maybe be a sorry wrestler, and then I'd hate you, but you're not. So once again, you can dress up like Cruella de Vil every single week. You could wear actual Dalmatian pelts on your back. Well, no, then I'd be pretty pissed at you. But you could wear fake ones, and I still wouldn't get mad.
Actual Dalmatian pelts.
Did you like this?
That's
match?
the line you draw.
That's right. Once you heard a dog, I'm out on you, Seth. What'd you think of the match, sir?
I loved it. I'm going to be sad if Drew McIntyre leaves. Where do you think he goes if he leaves?
AEW in 2 seconds.
Okay.
In 2 seconds. Him versus MJF? Holy shit.
Dude, they're not really generous to giants over there, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Drew McIntyre might be, I don't know. I would be shocked. Do you have any sources that say he's leaving? Or what's that?
I don't have sources that say he's leaving, but I do know people that
it's your guess
that know Drew, and artists aren't always happy with their creative direction. So, and I think it would be smart when his contract's up for him to be a free agent and see what's out there for him. I think he'd be foolish if he didn't explore both options as far as AEW and WWE. I don't think there would be any other options worthy of Drew McIntyre. That would be Drew doing them a favor. It wouldn't be them providing him with a job. And I don't think anybody else could afford him. He's a multi-million-dollar talent straight up. So I could see him going to AEW, and he's not a giant. He's like right between giant and like regular sized dude. Like Drew's 6'6", 6'7", and he's like 6'6", 6'7" wide as well.
Yeah,
like got the Magnum PI chest, like the burly man, hairy chest. Like he's just a man's man. And I really feel like he could work anywhere given the right story and the right opportunity. But he did great in this match, did the job, took it. And then Damian Priest came down and tried to cash in, and Sami Zayn snuck in.
That was weird.
He promised him it was weird, but he made a promise on Monday Night Raw that he wasn't going to let Judgment Day run the WWE the way Bloodline did. And so that was kind of the excuse for it. But I feel you. I wouldn't argue that it was weird.
It was weird to
still
steal
weird, but I'm just giving you their excuse.
Steal the briefcase. I was like, they could have done so many different things, like just jump his ass or do something. But why steal the briefcase? I mean, the briefcase is just. I mean,
well, you can't cash in if you don't have the briefcase. You have to have it. You have to open it and have it to cash in. If someone takes it away, you can't cash in. It's a silly rule, but that's the rule.
They should write a storyline where someone loses the briefcase. He's like, I don't know, I had it on the bus. And I took it to the hotel, and they go, hey man, if you don't have it,
sorry,
then
can't cash in, bro.
Get to cash it in. He's like, I know, but it's just somewhere. I think it's on the airplane. They go, no, sorry, dude, it doesn't matter.
Sorry, buddy, you got to go. That would be a cool social media campaign. Find my case. I need my check. I only have 60 days before the year's up, and I can't cash it in. It's like a coupon that expires.
It could be the new 24/7 belt. So like people just keep stealing the briefcase. Like if you have the briefcase, you can be the money in the bank.
Whoever has it. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, because I didn't know it was like that till this happened this week. I was like, I thought that, who cares if he actually has this? I thought he could still cash in. But anyways.
Did you, I'm probably the only one old enough to have caught this, or at least got the vibes for it. Did you see the shot where Sami Zayn jumped in the crowd with the briefcase and was surrounded by children like Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark? I thought that was like the best shot ever. And by the way, they missed a lot of shots on this pay-per-view.
No, I don't know if they were children.
Just little dudes?
No, I'm saying I think they have no idea that what happens when a wrestler goes in the audience. Usually a wrestler goes in the audience and there's some guys that are telling them not to touch them, and people are going, "Are we allowed to?" And they try to get a selfie, or sometimes.
But they look so little. They look so little.
Dude, they mobbed him. They mobbed Sami Zayn. You couldn't even see.
I think it was kids, dude. Rhea Ripley defeated everyone in the women's division. They put her in a 5-way match because a fatal 4-way wouldn't be enough. The right person won. I thought the match was pretty cool. I liked, what's her name? Zoe Stark. I'm liking her more and more. Again, the right person won, and she smashed Zoe Stark. I don't remember who she smashed her, someone else's poor body, and just did her finisher on top of everybody and then got the pin 1, 2, 3. But we love Rhea Ripley. We think she's the best. And we love
Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah, of course we love Raquel Rodriguez. But the champ is the champ, dude. She's on another level. Do you want to talk Solo Sikoa and John Cena or no?
Yeah, the Sikoa and Cena match was very good. Did it feel like a retirement match to you? It felt a little bit like Cena was
sort of half and half.
It felt like it, whether it was or not. A lot of glances to the camera and looking out. But again, it's in Saudi Arabia, so that doesn't really make much sense. But boy, oh boy, was there a lot of ungenerous shots of that bald spot on John Cena's head. Holy
stop.
crap.
One day you and me are going to have that bald spot, and it's going to be just as hurtful. I wish they would protect it as well. By the way, the whole pay-per-view wasn't shot great. They missed a lot of the moves, man. A lot of the moves.
Weird.
And it might have just been the buffering that was happening on Peacock. The buffering is ridiculous. It was like the first time the app ever was used.
They had the wrong side on a lot of things. There was like really weird overhead shots. I mean, there's so many weird things. That's the only reason I noticed John Cena's bald spot so much is because it was just shot very strange. But the match was fine.
They focused on it like it was a friggin' John Woo movie, and that was Nicolas Cage. Like, they just were like, yo, look at that, everybody.
Yeah.
Like, yo, cut to the other side, dude. Let Cena look like a hero.
Also, Sikoa winning, defeating John Cena.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. So I think that was him putting him over, but also it just had all these vibes of like a you still got it retirement kind of match for Cena, in my opinion, just the way it was.
I think he's got a WrestleMania run in him, but not a headlining WrestleMania, like a run. All right. I mentioned this on the Wednesday show, Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. Logan Paul wins the match with some cheating, was it chicanery? Is that the right word? Chicanery? Does that mean like shenanigans? But he grabbed brass knuckles and he punched my man Rey Mysterio right in the mask, knocking him out and getting the victory. Santos came out there to save him because one of Logan's like YouTube cronies was out there trying to interfere in the match. You scrub. That's why you got your ass beat. Instead of keeping the brass knuckles or throwing them away, he lays them right back on the ring mat, which I know they're going to cut back to when he turns heel on Rey Mysterio and goes after him. The one thing I don't understand is if you're turning Santos heel, then that means Rey was just holding the belt for Logan, and the plan was to have Logan eventually be the United States champion and have people chase him. So that means baby faces only will be going after him. I guess Ricochet will be first, I'm guessing, and he'll probably lose to put Logan over and make Logan look legit. And then it'll be the next baby face who's maybe LA Knight, and maybe that's where they go with it. But I don't know what they do with Santos here except turn him against Rey within the group. And I hope even without the championship, that story still gets the respect it deserves. With the championship, I'd be more confident in that. Without it, I have to hope a little bit more. What did you think of the match though, dude? You like Logan?
I do like Logan a lot. There was a lot of, so I don't know how much you're on social media these days, but there was a spot where Rey is supposed to spring off of the ropes and Logan was to catch him and then slam. It was supposed to be a big reverse because of the size difference between Logan and Rey. But Rey Mysterio, it looked like he was going to land on his head and Logan caught him. So half of the wrestling world is saying this kind of ring awareness is why Logan Paul is going to get the respect of his peers, because he was able to catch him in this moment before like Rey's head. But then the other half of the wrestling world is saying the only reason Rey almost landed on his head is because Logan wasn't in the right spot in the first place for the thing. Now, either way, it shows that Logan, even if he wasn't in the right spot, has the ring awareness to save a guy if something happens. So I think that like Logan does deserve the credit for it. Also, there's an argument to be made that maybe Rey wouldn't have landed on his head. His hands were right there. He's been wrestling for 75 years. I think Rey might not land on his head in that situation. But all of that aside, the fact that Logan Paul only has 8 matches under his belt and he's doing kind of like these big, strong veteran guy moves that in that fashion of being able to save a guy or catch a thing if something doesn't go exactly as planned shows that Logan is the real deal. I loved this match. I like everything they did with it, the best they could. I liked the brass knuckles angle. You know, I like every part of what they're doing with him. I wonder where it leads or if this is just a Crown Jewel thing. You know, there's a lot of one-offs in Crown Jewel.
I hear you, dude. Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest wrestled. Good, solid match. And the main event was Roman Reigns versus LA Knight for the undisputed Universal Championship. And it was a really good match. No surprises. I mean, you knew Roman Reigns was going to win, and you knew Jey Uso was going to interfere in the match, and you knew that would cause the loss. And that's pretty much what happened. It was either going to be Jey, or it was going to be Solo, or it was going to be Heyman, but someone was going to interfere, and that's how they can justify protecting LA Knight while still letting Roman win. And they tell LA Knight, don't worry, you're not going to lose straight up. You're going to lose to some shenanigans, and then we're going to move you on to story XYZ. I hope they listen to the crowd. You know, it took them a long time with Bryan Danielson. The yes movement is what got that going. There were no plans for him. Vince was not behind him. Hunter and Stephanie were not behind him at all. I was there. I worked there. I know exactly how they felt about him. It was the people that got Bryan over, and Bryan getting himself over by listening to the people and really committing to whatever that came, and then making the most of it, even if it was something that wasn't that good. So I hope that they listen to their audience and give LA Knight an A storyline, whether it's for a championship or not. He should be in an A storyline going against A players all the time, building him up for another run at the championship, or for a run at Seth, or for a run at Logan Paul, whatever it is. And if it's not a championship, it still has to be a top level person. Protect this dude, because he's an older guy. He's not going to have a 20-year career. He could have, a 7 to 10 year career. So use those years wisely, man, and get the most out of him, and keep focused on him. How'd you feel about the match, though?
Like I said, besides the end, I was into it. The whole match was great. It was good storytelling. It was good wrestling. I love both these dudes. I just am so tired of pay-per-views ending with Roman Reigns holding the belt up with the zoom in, and then it's like I'm just over it. Yeah, I'm kind of tough to please in the fashion that, like, when the belts are always changing, I'm annoyed. And when people are going heel face, I'm annoyed. But when someone stays the champion for too long, that also bothers me. And maybe it's just because I'm a big LA Knight guy. But besides the ending, I really, 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 really like the match.
I love LA Knight. I would have loved to see him win too. I didn't think he was gonna, and I really hope
we knew he wasn't.
They give him and I really hope they give him a storyline that helps project him even further, or at the very least takes advantage of how hot he is right now. You guys, we love you. We love y'all. Thanks for making this episode happen. Thursdays are for you, and Wednesdays are for us. So deal with it. Right. Thanks for listening, you guys. Make sure you leave reviews and all that good stuff that you do for all your favorite podcasts. If you love us, if you hate us, don't tell anyone. Peace.
This has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura Podcast Network. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.